Hey everyone, and welcome. So if you're a Scuba pro, you already know there's nothing like that feeling of opening up a whole new world to a student. Today, we're going to get really focused on one specific way to do that, making diving accessible, safe, and totally empowering for students with cerebral palsy. And look, this isn't just about inclusion. It's about making you a better, more capable instructor. So here's how we're going to tackle this. We've got 5 clear steps. First, we'll get into the right mindset. Then, we'll get a real practical understanding of CP. From there, we'll jump into the specific physical and communication tweaks you'll need to make. And finally, we'll wrap it all up in a simple action plan you can literally use on your next course. All right, Section 1, Adapting the Dive. The whole key here is really just shifting your perspective. When a student with CP signs up, it's easy to maybe feel a little apprehensive, to see it as a hurdle. We're going to reframe that completely. Think of this as a fantastic opportunity to sharpen your skills and become a more creative and confident instructor. Okay, let me ask you something straight up. Picture this. A student with cerebral palsy walks into your dive shop totally excited to learn. Are you ready? Right now, do you feel like you have the tools and the framework to give them the best and safest training possible? Our goal is that by the time we're done here, that answer is going to be a confident, absolutely yes. And that's exactly what we're here to do. We're going to move way beyond just managing a situation. This is about giving you specific, practical protocols and, just as important, a mindset of adaptation, so you can really knock this kind of training out of the park. Okay, before we even get into gear or in-water skills, we have to lay down the most important rule. This is like the golden rule, the foundation that every single decision you make is going to be built on. First off, what are we even talking about when we say cerebral palsy, or CP? For our purposes, it's a condition that affects movement and coordination. Now, for you as an instructor, there are 2 huge takeaways here. 1, it's non-progressive. It's not going to get worse over time. And number 2, and you really got to get this, its effects are wildly different from person to person. Yeah, this quote just nails it. You're not teaching a label. You are teaching a person, an individual. Your number 1 job is to figure out their functional ability. What can this person actually do? And then you build your training around them on that specific day. All right, let's get into the nitty-gritty. In this section, we're going to look at some of the common physical things you might see, and, more importantly, the smart ways you can adapt. This is where we turn those what-ifs into here's how. So, a really common one you might see is muscle spasms or tightness, and you know what makes that worse? Cold water. And you know what? Your first tool in the toolbox is super simple: water temperature. Using a warm pool or just recommending a thicker wetsuit can make a world of difference. And of course, just build in extra time. Slow everything down. And check this out. Sometimes the simplest fixes solve the biggest problems. If a student can't easily reach their BCD inflator, don't make them struggle. Just move it. Reroute the hose. If they can't physically do a full head-to-toe check on their buddy, fine. Adapt it. Make it a buddy-assisted check. Remember, the goal is safety, not sticking to the book just for the sake of it. Okay, let's talk about fatigue, because this is a big one. Diving is physical work, and for someone with CP, it can take a lot more energy. So you gotta be smart about it. Plan shorter dives. Keep them shallow. Think about using smaller, lighter tanks to just reduce the overall load. And hey, for some divers, a DPV isn't a toy. It can be an absolute game changer for energy management. Right? Air. It's kind of the most important thing, isn't it? So we gotta get this right. Some divers might have a tough time getting a tight seal on a standard mouthpiece. So do the work up front. Find a mouthpiece that gives them a perfect, comfortable seal. After that, it's all about reps. Regulator skills over and over, slowly and calmly in the pool until it's pure muscle memory. Okay, so we've got the physical stuff down. Now let's connect that to how we communicate and keep everyone safe. Having a rock-solid system for both is absolutely non-negotiable on any dive, but it's especially important here. Think about it. If your student has some trouble with speech on land, your usual poolside briefing just isn't going to cut it, right? You have to adapt. Break down complicated skills into tiny single steps. Before you even get near the water, agree on some extra, maybe even custom, hand signals. Always have a slate handy, and the most important part, the real proof is in the pudding. Have them show you they understand, not just give you a thumbs up. Okay, we need to pause here and talk about something really critical. While it's not always the case, some people with CP might also have a history of seizures. This is an area where there are no gray areas. You need a rock-solid black and white protocol. And here it is. It's a simple, 3-step safety check. 1, if there is any history of seizures, you absolutely must get a formal medical clearance from their doctor. No exceptions. 2, you need to have a private, direct chat about their seizure control and any known triggers. And 3, if their condition isn't stable or they don't have that clearance, you stop. The dive does not happen. Period. That protects everyone. So let's pull all these pieces together into your action plan. This is basically your playbook, taking you from that very first conversation all the way through to a successful and safe certification. You can really think of the whole training process in 3 distinct chunks. Pre-dive is your prep time. Do that functional assessment, get the gear just right, and lock in your communication plan. In water is all about execution. Go slow, stay close, and keep a constant eye out for fatigue. And post-dive is for learning. Talk with your student about what worked, what didn't, and use that info to make the next dive even better. I love this table because it shows exactly how important you are in this equation. Look at the column on the left. Without your input, some of these risks look pretty high, right? But now look at the right. Look at what your controls do. You take a situation that could be high risk and you systematically bring it down to low risk. You're the one making it safe. All right, so when it comes time for that final sign-off, before you even pick up the pen, run through this mental checklist. Is their buoyancy stable? Is your communication crystal clear? Can they perform every safety skill reliably, even with adaptations? Is their buddy fully in the loop? And do you have that medical form filed away? This isn't just a list, it's your professional confidence. And really, this quote just wraps it all up perfectly. The laws of physics don't change underwater, but your preparation, your creativity, your willingness to adapt, that's what makes it all possible. You're the bridge that turns a potential challenge into an amazing, life-changing experience for your student. So I'll just leave you with this final thought. With this framework, you're not just teaching another scuba class. You're opening up 70% of our planet to someone who might have been told it was impossible. So the real question is, whose world are you going to open up next?